All right, let's jump right into a pretty wild idea today. What if some of the foods you think are the absolute healthiest are actually the very things holding you back from your goals? Let's get into it. So let me ask you something a little provocative. What if that spinach salad or that kale smoothie that you're so diligent about eating, what if it's secretly causing some of the exact problems you're trying to fix, like belly fat and inflammation? I know, it's a huge thought, so let's break it down. We're going to zoom in on 5 specific vegetables that are almost always called superfoods. Think of this as kind of unmasking a few hidden culprits that might be hiding out in your produce drawer. Kicking things off, we've got a true classic, spinach. I mean, it's in everything, right? Salads, smoothies, you name it. But the whole idea we're exploring today is that it has a pretty major downside. So what's the deal with spinach? Well, it all comes down to one word, oxalates. The best way to picture them is as tiny, sharp crystals that can literally cause damage to your gut lining. This can kick off inflammation, drain your cells of energy, and even lower your glutathione levels, which is basically your body's master cleanup crew. All right, next on the list is kale. You know it, you've probably tried to like it. It's often called the king of greens, but the argument here is that it's actually more of an anti-nutrient bomb. And with kale, it's kind of like a double whammy. First, just like spinach, it's packed with those oxalates, but it also has something called goitrogens. Now, these are compounds that can mess with your thyroid function. And because your thyroid runs your metabolism, a sluggish thyroid means a sluggish fat-burning engine. Next up, we have Swiss chard. And you know, this stuff looks beautiful, right? With those vibrant, colorful stems. But as they say, looks can be deceiving. And here we go again. Swiss chard is described as another oxalate bomb. When you get an overload, it can lead to chronic gut inflammation. Over time, that can weaken your connective tissue, we're talking skin and joints, and it can even mess with your hormones by depleting key nutrients. Coming in at number 4, beets. Yeah, I know, they're often praised for all sorts of health benefits, but this perspective frames them as a source of double trouble for your metabolism. So let's look at this. On one hand, yes, beets have nitrates, and those are great for heart health. But on the other hand, you get a metabolic 1-2 punch. They're high in sugar, which spikes your insulin and tells your body to store fat. And at the exact same time, you're getting a heavy dose of those cell-damaging oxalates. And rounding out our list at number 5, the humble potato, specifically white and red potatoes, which are being called the belly bloat king here. Okay, so most of us know that potatoes can spike your blood sugar pretty fast, but that's not the whole story. They're also considered oxalate bombs that can actually bind to important minerals and trigger inflammation. And this last point is crucial. When you mix high-carb potatoes with high-fat toppings, you're creating a recipe for what's called metabolic chaos. Okay, so we've just put 5 of the most popular vegetables on the hot seat. But you're probably asking, why? What's the actual science here? Well, it all boils down to a category of compounds called anti-nutrients, and there's one in particular that's stealing the show. And here is our main suspect, oxalates. So what in the world are they? Just think of them as tiny, crystal-like bodyguards that some plants have for defense. The problem is, when they get inside our bodies, they can act like microscopic shards of glass, irritating our gut and kicking off inflammation that just gets in the way of us feeling our best. Okay, I know what you might be thinking right now, but wait, what about cooking? Doesn't cooking solve this? Doesn't it get rid of the oxalates? That is an excellent and very logical question. Well, according to anti-nutrient researcher Sally Norton, the answer is a pretty big no. This quote says it all. Boiling, steaming, all the usual methods, they just don't get rid of enough of them to make a huge difference. In fact, some argue that certain cooking methods might even make them more available for your body to absorb. Yikes. So this all sounds pretty intense, but how would you even know if this is something that's affecting you? Well, take a look at some of these common symptoms. Does any of this sound a little too familiar? Persistent joint pain, that classic 3 p.m. energy crash, feeling like you just can't lose weight no matter what, or just general brain fog? These could be clues. All right, I know, that was a whole lot of don't eat this, which can feel kind of negative. So let's totally flip the script. If this approach suggests limiting those vegetables, what does it say you should fill your plate with instead? Let's get to the fun part, the solutions. Now this is a super helpful at-a-glance guide. On the left, you've got the foods to be a bit more mindful of. And hey, notice it's not just veggies, but things like almonds and blackberries too. And on the right, the foods to embrace. We're talking avocado, cauliflower, red meat, eggs, even butter. Now that's a very different looking healthy plate, isn't it? And let's dive even deeper with a top 10 list. We've got avocados, nutrient-dense red meat and eggs, fantastic low-oxalate veggies like cauliflower and zucchini. And look at this, butter and ghee are on the list. Even white rice gets a nod, and moderation, because the argument is that it has fewer of these anti-nutrients than brown rice. Okay, so if you were to actually try this, you're probably wondering how long until I might feel a difference. Well, the surprising answer is that it can be incredibly fast. We're not talking months. Many people report feeling positive changes in just a matter of days to weeks. And this right here, this is the most crucial point of this entire conversation. This is not about creating a new rigid set of food rules, not at all. It's about awareness. It's an invitation for you to become a detective for your own body, to experiment a little, and to actually listen to the feedback it's giving you. So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. Is it possible that your healthy plate needs a little bit of a rethink? That's the provocative idea we've unpacked today. What you do with that information, well, that's the next step in your journey.